So, last EXCO meeting, it came up that it would be nice to have an overview of what the energy storage TCP is doing, especially since you also have a subject on UTIS, and see if some collaboration might be possible, or in the tasks, or because we already have some collaboration in the workshop, the UTES workshop, for example, by the panel discussion where I will be taking part in the first panel session. So there is already a connection between IAA TCP through us and through me. But I think it would be good to have a look at all the tasks that are running to see whether whether more collaboration would be possible. So, first of all, why we actually need energy storage. If we are looking now at the current situation, we are going through a decarbonization towards a renewable-based energy system. And we see that electricity moves into the heart of the system, but still heat is very important and is gaining more attention since it's the elephant in the room that's not overseen anymore. And energy storage becomes crucial for flexibility and especially sector interaction, helping to provide the right form of energy at the right place and time. So connecting demand and supply. And it gains value and consequently in scientific, public and political interest is growing as well. If we look at the IEA report from 2020, we see that global need for flexibility technology will double in 2040. So that's a big progress that we need to face. And energy storage facilitates temporal flexibility. So what I said between production and consumption, it can provide sector coupling, for example, between electricity with the conversion to heat. And energy efficient measures can be found. And it requires all types of energy storage in terms of size, response time, capacity, and area of application. Like I said, politics is growing as well. Governments have come to understand that the importance of energy storage is present. And international organizations play an increasing important role in deploying these energy storage techniques. And the ES-TCP contributes to this international collaboration by R&D in energy storage technologies. If we look at economic value of energy storage, then we see it's dependent on the application. For example, 1 kilowatt hour of cell phone battery capacity will cost around 10,000 euros. And if we look, or if we compare this to 1 kilowatt hour of residential heat, then it only costs €1 to store this in hot water. So it's dependent on the application, what kind of economic story you need to find behind it. So energy storage monetary value derives from various effects. It can be improved by energy efficiency in industry. It increased self-consumption of renewable energy, and it can fast and exact response to production fluctuations of the energy producers. Now, the work that the energy storage TCP has done, first, energy storage, of course, is a very basic principle of charging the storage, store the energy and decharging it again. And the energy storage TCP has made a classification of technologies. For example, electrical and mechanical, so power-to-power storage, hydrogen storage or molecule storage, chemical storage, as we like to call it in the Netherlands, and thermal storage, where you have 3 main subtypes: sensible storage, latent storage, and thermochemical storage. And UTES mostly falls in the sensible heat or cold storage. And you can also make a classification on physical parameters. So different applications need different storage depending on the amount of energy stored, desired time span, and charging and discharging capacity. Yeah. And also, if we look at these different storage types, there are also different advantages. So, for example, thermal is inexpensive, is widely applicable. There's a wide range of technologies. And if we look at, for example, chemical, there's a high energy density, but there's a long-term storability. But you need this, for example, hydrogen to be stored and needs to be formed, costs a lot of electricity. So there are also some disadvantages of these storage types, and you need to see you need to find the application and what storage type could fit in that. And that's also there are also some technical challenges. For example, optimization of the grid infrastructure, flexible sector coupling, and also taking into account the AI transition for these energy storage types. Sorry, I'm going a little bit faster because I have quite some slides. Yeah, there are some economical challenges which are also being addressed in our tasks. And that's where I want to move now. Our energy storage TCP has 21 countries. Most of them are in Europe, but also including Canada, China, let's see, Korea, and the US, for example. There are some sponsors as well from Spain and from Germany. But they try to anticipate on the energy system transformation and develop solutions to battle climate change. And these solutions are found in energy storage. Our mission is to contribute to the transition towards a renewable energy system by the use of energy storage through joint research, design and development, and pre-standardization work. To actively disseminate results, include the industry as much as possible, and promote a more holistic approach to the energy system. So not looking only at energy storage, but also look at the system benefits it has. Our scope is on compact, safe, and affordable storage of heat and electricity, mostly. But we see that there is another hydrogen TCP as well, who is doing the hydrogen and chemical storage in their tasks. So we have some collaboration with them. So that's why we focus mainly on heat and electricity. And we look at the impact on other domains, for example, solar energy, heat pumps, district heating and cooling, energy conservation, stuff like that. Yeah, we have some policy priorities to position energy storage as an economic parameter. For example, flexibility is not something that you can express in money very easily. So that's something that they try to work out in one of the tasks. And for example, also develop a regulatory framework for simplified and better use of energy storage technologies, and improve communication of results with TCPs. Yeah, like I said, priority lies on thermal storage and electricity storage, but also conversion, for example, power to hydrogen or power to gas, and modeling is also a big part of our storage TCP. So our current tasks that we have we have 8 running tasks at the moment. And recently there's another task under development. Recently the AI task, so smart design and control of energy storage system, finished, which will be a new task who will probably be approved in our upcoming next EXCO meeting. We have an economic assessment of energy storage tasks. where we look at where we try to compare different storage technologies and find an overall business case for storage types. This has been quite hard to compare all these different storage types because they also have different applications, it also depends on location, for example, where the storage is based. But there are some general results from this that can be used in a more general way. Then there is a task on use of building mass as storage for renewables and grid flexibility, which can be useful for district heating and cooling. And then there's a task that I think is most applicable to the geothermal TCP, which is our task 45, which is accelerating the uptake of large thermal energy storage systems. And it's used in district heating and industrial applications. I think that you already have met the task lead, Wim van Helden. And we have done some joint work in our workshops with this task, for example, in Offenburg. Then we have a new task on application-oriented energy storage selection, APAS in short, where you look at the application side and not on the technology. So application is central, and then we try to find the storage that could fit the needs. So it's another way of thinking. And this just started. The first meeting will be held in the end of this year. There are some technology improvement tasks, one on ground source de-icing, this one finished recently. There's a task on system flexibility with medium duration energy storage. Medium, the definition is quite broad because for electricity, this means more than 4 hours. They take into account all these storage types that can store energy for more than 4 hours. And so this includes also TESS, the thermal energy storage systems. And then there's a task, a running task on power to heat and storage of this heat, and then that can be transferred back to power. So power to heat to power. This is also a progression of a previous task. And then our TCP is from the beginning on, they have done some material research. So this is basically an ongoing task. Where they do some research towards phase change materials and thermochemical materials. And now they are going into the components because you can still continue the material investigations with the universities, but you need to get towards the actual deployment, and you need the components of the system for this as well. So that's a shared task with the solar heating and cooling TCP, and it has been there from the beginning. So these are the tasks that are running. So for you, I think that task 45 with the LTES subject is most important for you. And perhaps also the application, the APAS tasks, so task 46. And then, of course, there's the flexibility coordination group. You already mentioned it, and we will have a discussion on this in the afternoon as well. There has been a survey sent out, and the geothermal TCP also replied to this. And as you can see, over different TCPs, flexibility has a different definition. So, for example, in geothermal, it's more flexibility measures are found mostly in supply and also in storage due to UTES. But for example, in the EBC, which is the built environment TCP, flexibility is more found on the demand side. Yeah, this is something that we will discuss in the afternoon probably. Then we have some conferences that we regularly organize. These are called the ENOSTOC conferences, and there has been one last year, a live one in Lyon, in France, and all the presentations were recorded and can be found on the link that is here. And there will be an online ENOSTOC next year in the beginning of February, and there will be this will be more based on actual projects of energy storage. So perhaps I'm not sure whether the complete program is already present. So maybe this is something that we can add on to, as well as the geothermal TCP. Then there are the this should be a 2-monthly online seminar on energy storage TCP. There will be one next at the end of November. There will be an on seminar on LTES, so the task 45 that I was just telling you about. Wim van Helden will tell something about the new results that they have. So this might be a good opportunity to be present during these meetings, ask questions, perhaps look for some joint collaboration that would be possible. Yeah, so this is basically the ESTCP. Since we are one of the early TCPs, it's already 50 years that they are present, and to celebrate this and the 100 Exco, we are organizing a symposium on the 13th of November in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. This is the program, and you can see that we have very briefly going through it, the minister, or our Minister of Economic Affairs and Climate and Green Growth, will give a keynote speech and will open the event. And then we have some different blocks to look at the energy storage within the energy system, different storage technologies, different demand sectors, panel discussion on social and policy elements, and what will we do in the upcoming 25 years. Registration is open. Probably some of you have already had the invite for this, so please be welcome to join. And yeah, I think that's it.